Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. Hi, ladies. How are you doing?
Great, great.
Sunday.
Yes, so I'm Uchenna,
And I'm IJ.
And I'm Dior.
and we are here to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 9. So it began with Ray massaging Karen's feet and her pretending that it tickled, knowing that her hard old feet don't tickle no more.
I
So,
don't know why they want to do all that drama between them to
so
do this pretend
right. So what
sexy. I don't get it.
I don't understand like how there was a complete 180 before he wanted nothing to do with Karen. Now he's her lapdog. What brought about this change? Is it the Ladam being successful and her making money and him
Yeah.
having to do this?
Mm,
Or is he becoming senile in his old age? Like,
Probably that one
what is
because
it?
I don't think there would be a resentment because he's had years of being the main money maker.
Hmm.
So in the last season, I remember them talking about him having to take a back seat
Mhm.
because now she's the businesswoman and so forth.
Right.
So to me, it's either one, he's senile or getting there, or two, she's had a talking to him and said, hey, it's my turn to be the front runner. You need to support me like I supported you. It's only fair. And if you want to get them paychecks from Bravo, you need to start doing something so that I can put you on air. Because I see no other reason for him to be acting like this. And doesn't she realize how fake it looks?
No, she doesn't. This
He
is how she's
definitely
always
doesn't.
yeah, this is how she's always wanted it to be, but
Wow.
he never was willing to do it. So now he is,
And they have their vow renewal this season, so maybe they're just trying to
Play
build
it up.
our anticipation and
There, it makes it even grosser, if that's even a word, grosser. It makes it so gross. Every time I see them, if he comes out, I quickly fast forward.
that's how I'm with Ashley. So y'all gonna have to fill me in with what happened when they went to that baby thing. Because as soon as I saw her and the baby, I was out.
Why?
I
Why?
don't know. There's just something about that I don't want to see. Like I don't care. But anyway, so we still have stuff to get to before we get to Ashley.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So, next week we have reasonable shady because that's how she said it. The podcast.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
that was
Yeah,
cute. That was
that was
cute.
cute. That was cute how they did it, and it was pretty good. For the
Check
first
it out.
time having a podcast, and I thought it was really interesting that Giselle was willing to talk and share about her relationship with the podcast, people who she doesn't even know, but she won't do it in front of her friends.
That's simple. It's easy to share stuff with people you can't see that are anonymous, that you don't care anything about their opinions, and they can't say anything back to you, than with shady people that you have to see, sit down, talk to.
Yeah.
That would be hard for me to do. No, the other one is easier. And those people that are on the podcast listening are to her supporters.
Right.
I mean,
Where
but the same
they're
people
not
that
her
she's
haters.
trying not to share her information with can easily go listen to the podcast and hear it. So,
Right.
Oh yeah, but she's sharing it with her friends. It's for them. It's not for the other people. If the other people come in and listen, okay. Plus she needs to give them something to make it interesting, make people want to tune back in, right?
And it was. Those statistics were surprising, especially the 350% chance that the guys are going to cheat again if they
Yeah,
cheat
that
this
was,
time.
yeah.
That was
Are you guys
staggering.
gonna listen to the podcast?
I've never really listened to podcasts
Me
before.
neither.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I will. I mean, who knows? Will you? Will you guys?
I've never listened to a podcast in my life yet.
oh,
No.
Just the
really?
little snippets that Dior sends me. I'll listen to those, but otherwise I don't really listen to them.
Yeah, I really love podcasts. They help me like when I'm driving or I'll listen to books. But no, I haven't heard their podcast, but maybe I'll listen to one episode and see how it is.
Yeah, and I
But
thought it was
the episode they talked about, or the topic for this podcast was on cheating, right?
right. Relationships is on relationships.
Relationships.
Oh, relationships. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I was glad that Robin also shared about her and Juan's relationship. I thought that was good. But it did kind of surprise me that Gizelle was like, if it was like a one-time accidental thing, that she can work with through it.
Okay.
But if it's like an ongoing thing, she's not trying to hear that. And I guess that kind of makes sense.
Is that what happened with her, do you think?
Well, Gizelle, maybe the first time, but it was an ongoing, constant thing.
Right. So maybe
And
that's
then
why
she
she's
left
like
him.
that.
Hmm.
Do you think that happened this last time too?
Yeah.
It wasn't just the distance. Like,
No,
what makes you
definitely
think
not.
that he would remain? I mean, you guys are states away before
But
you guys.
he's older and he's a pastor. Like, how can that church be okay with a guy, with a pastor having
Girl, I don't
8
even
kids
know.
from different relationships?
How do churches be okay with their pastors running around in Benzes and airplanes and flying here, gold watches, diamonds? How are they okay with that?
I mean, that's for me.
Where are they getting the money from? Your tithes and offerings.
Yeah, but
Are the-
I think people are okay with it. They must be because they're still going to that church.
They must be, because I don't know where the Bible says, please bathe your pastors in gold and jewelry. It doesn't say that nowhere. Let them flyeth in a planeth to go wherever they need to go. It doesn't say that neither, but
So
people
there
still.
was a reality show about pastors, and
I
they
remember.
you remember that one?
Yes, yes,
Yes, and they
yes.
talked about what it was almost like a competition, like what each of
Mhm.
them had. And there was a couple of women pastors on there. I don't know if I don't think I watched the whole season, maybe just a couple episodes, but for them, it was nothing to be ashamed of. It was facts. And for me, I think that's a little bit different than having multiple baby mamas. Like that is against the Bible. So yeah.
But people,
So,
I just want you to know, can I say something real quick?
mhm.
Public service announcement. The money that you guys are giving to your pastors to spend on all this stuff, you can give it to missionaries to go do the work of God and feed people and clothe them and give them houses. Just saying.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just wick whack how we all have ways never mind. Go ahead. Yeah, I digress.
Right. Okay, so now we get to Candiace and her husband. Like, is it me or is he looking worse and worse
I was thinking the same thing
and
because he has
worse?
like this red mark or something under his eye.
Rosacea and like freckles everywhere. It's like he's aging every time we see him. And he always has a drink in his hand now. Whereas before, you really didn't see that because he was always cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering, and he looks tired.
And older, a lot older.
Older. So I'm like, what happened between last year and this year?
COVID?
Possibly.
Possibly,
COVID?
yeah.
I mean, and if
COVID?
you're not like he sold his restaurant,
Hmm.
and I mean, I can imagine if you don't really have anything to like keep you busy, you do kind of just deteriorate a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, COVID.
Mhm.
And I think buying that house was probably a lot of pressure
Hmm.
Mhm.
and
And
so
COVID did
forth.
make a lot of people start drinking
Yeah.
heavily. Hmm.
So, that's what I thought the same thing when I saw him during this season. Nobody else said anything. I said, just keep it to yourself, IJ. But I thought to myself when I first, I was like, whoa.
I know he used to be cute. Now
I wanted to say, go get that coloring. Go get it colored.
The
Something.
Beijing.
you mean what
His
Like
color?
hair,
his beard.
everything.
Oh,
He
right.
needs a nice
Just for
color.
men?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes him 5 minutes. Put it on, call it a
He'll
day.
shave it off. He used to not have a beard.
I think he looks
Right.
more manly with the beard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Candiace let me just shut up because did you hear how she was talking to him?
Oh, when they went to dinner?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not there yet.
Okay, go ahead, please.
All right. So she told him about what Gizelle said, riding the coattails, and he wasn't bothered about it. He was just like,
Mhm.
hurt people, that's what happens. And so he wasn't bothered at all, which I think was good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If he was bothered,
He's a
I'd be like,
man.
yeah, he
Yeah,
should
so
be.
it's just like this just female gossip bullshit. So
Right,
he handled
right.
it well. So you guys are gonna have to tell me what happened with Ashley and the baby and her old husband.
Oh, you mean okay, so the baby Dylan has she thinks he has a lip tie, which I never heard of. I've heard of a tongue tie.
Well, it's really it's where the baby can't for some reason, there's no scientific proof or anything like that, has a hard time latching on and sucking breast.
Well, no, there's tongue tie, which means, that little thing between your tongue is like stuck there. So sometimes they have to do surgery to loosen it up. I don't know what the lip tie is, but I guess it's something related.
Yeah, but it's just an inability to latch on to breast and to bottle. Because I thought little Keith, when he was young, was having suckling problems, and they called it a lip tie, but it was just greed on his part. He just couldn't get enough.
Well, but some babies do have to actually have a surgery to correct it. So, I mean, I think it is an actual thing. I haven't heard of the lip tie. I've heard of the tongue tie. I think
they called it a lip tie for little Keith because I thought he wasn't able to latch on. But so it is real for some kids. It was just, we found out later on, he was just excessively hungry, which continued on till now. But it was weird. They took him to a massage therapist.
Yeah.
I've heard of them. Before.
I heard usually you would take them to a lactation consultant. Maybe she is also a lactation consultant.
She said her degree is as a massage therapist.
But she could also be a lactation consultant. I mean, she said it wasn't her first patient.
Right.
Do you want me to read what the definition of lip tie is?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. The piece of tissue behind your upper lip is called the frenulum. When these membranes are too thick or too stiff, they can keep the upper lip from moving freely. This condition is called a lip tie. So I guess
it's kind of like this is like stuck to their gum, maybe.
Maybe up here.
It's a little thick, but
and so that they can't move their
that's why they have a hard time suckling, latching onto the breast or the nipple or the bottle. But I still don't see how a massage therapist massaging his back and his legs and his neck.
Yeah, so she was saying something like she was like trying to, I guess, align his intestines so that things can move like more freely. And then with the chin, she said she was trying to relax the muscles in his chin. Basically, Ashley was trying something so that they didn't have to do surgery. We'll see, I guess, if it works. I
understand maybe massaging the lip.
That makes sense. I was waiting for that to happen and he never did.
But the baby looked very relaxed when they put him back in the park.
The baby's actually cute.
He is cute.
He is really cute.
Does he look like his little brother?
I don't know, but he's cute. He is cute. He's almost like a photogenic kind of baby. He actually is cute.
He is cute. I thought it was interesting though, because the way when she was describing what was happening, it kind of made it seem like she was doing all of this not for the baby to eat better or latch better, but because of her relationship with Michael. So she was saying that, he wasn't taking the bottle and she didn't have a lot of energy left because she's having to nurse him every so often.
Every hour.
She didn't have enough energy left for Michael. So that's why they were going to the massage therapist. And I'm just
the whole thing was centered on Michael and his need for sex. I mean, first of all, let's take it back a little bit. When they got to the massage therapist, that's what she is, the massage therapist. Mm-hmm. He stepped up. I felt like he was a non-believer because he was asking 50 million questions. Because in the head, the concept of you massaging my son's body has nothing to do with this portion of his body and the sucking. Right. Talking about his gut means we can't even get food to the gut.
Yeah.
Lying it doesn't mean anything, Wanted to find out her experience, what she's done, how many patients she's had before. The lady started to get protrude about it, but whatever. But I thought that was good that he stepped up and was asking those questions because Ashley was all gung-ho for it. And I was like, can somebody tell me the rationale?
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for putting in.
Yes, but one really quick, in the end, when they were driving home.
Oh, yes.
Weird.
What? So she was saying that, like, I guess they have been, like, they hadn't had sex, but she was talking about their intimacy. And he said that he was talking about how she was starting to look better, like she was getting back into shape. And he told her that you don't look overweight anymore. And that's good for me. Like he was saying,
And he was attracted to her.
Yeah, he was like, I'm attracted to you.
Now.
Yeah, but
it was so disturbing. Like, just that someone who gave birth to your child,
and she wasn't even heavy. She looked good for her. Most pregnant women get a lot heavier, you know. But she was looking a lot like her mom, so maybe that's what he was saying.
And the weird thing too, she's like, "You didn't look at my vagina when I was birthing, did you?" And he's just like, "No, but now that you said it."
No, he said he did look at it, but he wasn't. He was just looking at it as his child coming out, and he wasn't turned off by it.
Okay,
but she was worried about him, which some women are worried about.
A lot of men do get turned off by it.
And especially if she had a bowel movement. Wow. Which she says she did.
Yeah, a lot of women do.
I wouldn't want my husband looking at that when I'm having a bowel movement and birthing the baby.
But he should understand that this is a pregnancy. He's giving birth. She's giving birth. And
understanding and being a man is two different things, as we all know. But I also think that she needs to stop focusing.
She wants to keep her marriage, you know. She doesn't want him to stray again, you know. So
but that's one thing that you
should really leave.
Yeah, that's the thing that you have to think about. Like, how much do you value yourself that you have to do everything for him to be sexually or physically attracted to you when he should just be supporting you because you're second.
How old is the baby right now?
A few months, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 3-4 months.
Can we get
even that? I'm not even sure if it's even more than a month yet.
Yeah. Can we get a little bit of time to help her recoup and get back into shape? And she had issues.
No, IJ, she can't. He obviously is not allowing her at all.
He's in his 60s.
She needs to see Dr. Nicole.
He's in his 60s, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world? Maybe he's taking like Viagra every day.
He is. He's probably taking Viagra or Cialis.
This is not a plug for either of those drugs.
So this is definitely not a plug. So one thing we did skip over, and maybe it was a good thing, when the conversation between Wendy and her husband. You know,
I'm sorry.
I kind of understood his point. You know, they've been through a lot, but that doesn't mean you're not going to cheat. But I do believe him, and I do believe that he's being honest when he said that, you know, that wasn't what was happening at all. You know, so.
Because she was covered up. This episode, she was covered up.
Yeah, she's been covering up a lot more than before.
Maybe he said, I don't know, but go ahead. Let me just keep my mouth shut.
Okay. So why was Robyn talking to her 8-year-old son about needing a life coach and not having her shit together? Like,
no, it was so awkwardly placed.
He's like, Mom, you don't have your stuff together?
Like, who wants their, so inappropriate. Your kids are looking to you to be the leader, the strong person, the protector, the all.
Right. I don't know that it's necessarily inappropriate, but I mean, because I think it's appropriate to tell your child that if you are struggling with something, it's okay to help.
First of all,
hey, that's not too young. I mean,
you know what? It is okay to tell your child, if you're struggling with something, come and talk to me.
Right.
And I will, as the parent, look out for you and find out what you need. Not your kid going out to get a life coach or talking to somebody else. That's how.
Now he's gonna worry. He's like, Mom, ain't got it together. He's gonna be worried about it. Some kids might start to obsess at that age
and become,
something's gonna happen to their mother.
To be the caretaker now, you know?
Yeah,
that was totally inappropriate to do that.
Maybe teenager. Maybe, but not 8 years old. That's
no,
too much.
You're as a parent.
And he was looking at his mom like, what?
I mean, I do think it was like randomly placed, and especially since they weren't already having a conversation, or I don't know that I didn't feel like they were already having a conversation about that situation. But I mean, I don't know. I thought it's okay to.
You as the parent is you're the anchor for your child at that age.
Especially the mother, especially mom. Moms are like the
anchor, the strong woman. If my mom would have came to me and said, y'all, you know what? I'm having some moments here. And, you know, sometimes I got to go out and get a life coach and so forth. I would become worried.
Right.
Because mom is having a hard time. What do I
need to do? Is
as
it
an
my fault?
What grade is an 8-year-old in?
Like, what do we do? You know,
that 3rd grade?
8th. Yeah, I think it's like 3rd grade or something like
No,
that.
honey, get it together. Get it together, Robyn. You have some
Talk to
friends you can
someone else,
talk.
talk to an adult
Yes,
about it.
please, because your
Yeah.
child
And
can't get
maybe she
ready.
doesn't feel comfortable. I mean, she should be talking to Juan about it,
Then
really.
talk to the mirror. Talk to the mirror. Go get you the life coach and talk to the life coach. Don't
But
be
it is good that she got a life coach. I think that's good.
yeah.
And people seem to be turning more to life coaches than to psychiatrists or therapists.
Do
Do you think
insurance
it's
pay for
because
those?
there's still a stigma about going to therapists and
Well, a
psychiatrists?
lot of times they're both. A lot of times they're both therapists and life coaches.
So, but what's the difference?
Well, a life coach is supposed to help you, like, just with kind of life obstacles, get things together, maybe to get more organized, or, I just help you realize what your goals and aspirations are, like career wise. I know that, like a lot of women have trouble with working and being a parent. So helping them with those types of things, like your day-to-day life
Okay,
obstacles.
not psychoanalyzation.
No, but the life coach did say that a life coach helps people that are already that are mentally healthy and just need some advice, basically. Whereas a therapist might help somebody that has more
Mental issues.
mental issues, and not even just mental, but more issues going on and so forth. That might be the difference, So, but are life coaches insurable? I mean, does insurance pay
I
for
don't
life
think so.
coaches?
I mean, if I've seen that there are therapists that are also life coaches, and if they take insurance, then yeah, it would pay for it.
Okay.
But there are a lot of therapists that aren't.
You want to see a therapist and not a life coach, then, right?
Well, this lady was
This
both
is an
a therapist.
investigation that we need to do.
And there are, there are a lot of therapists that don't accept insurance.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely.
so, I
So
mean,
I'll call my insurance company and ask them if they'll cover me if I get a life coach, and maybe they'll say they have to have some type of medical degree, and then they'll cover it. So I'll try to remember.
But this particular lady was a
A
therapist.
PhD.
Yeah, and a life coach.
But
Interesting.
she was a PhD, not an MD.
a lot of therapists have like social work degrees and psychology degrees. They're not. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor.
Yeah, because they have to be able to prescribe.
But they usually take care of people with like more mentally serious illnesses. Yeah.
So Mia's lunch with her mother, that was good, right? I thought that gave me more
informative.
Say what?
That was informative.
Yeah, it gave us all, I think everyone, more of an understanding of where Mia comes from. I think we kind of talked about it before, why she acts like she is, why she talks about her career so much. So I thought it was really good. It gave more depth to her.
One thing I thought was interesting was, so prior to her lunch with her mom, she was talking to her husband, and she was like nervous. She didn't want to like trigger her because she's, going through sobriety.
Yeah, she just got out of rehab.
But then she ordered a drink. Like,
mom did too.
Oh, the mom did too.
She ordered the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not judging, but I'm not understanding. Like,
I don't understand that
either. Out of rehab. Why are you drinking?
Because usually, I mean, even if she has a drug addiction, I think usually they also don't want you to drink alcohol.
No, they don't want you to do anything.
Yeah.
They don't want you to have sex. They don't want you to do anything because it can be a trigger. But
because I think I would have been more careful. I just wouldn't have ordered a drink. I mean, I could have waited one.
I'm sure it was alcoholic.
It was a limoncello, and that's very strong. We had that when we went to Rome. We had limoncellos.
Okay. Was it good?
Yeah, they're really good.
Did I like it?
I like sweet.
Oh, okay.
I liked it.
Okay. Yeah, that's sad. I mean, I thought the whole episode, that part was really sad. I was like, ooh, what a Debbie Downer. I was like, their mom went through something. Your husband is the one that started you on drugs.
I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah.
A relationship, someone in the relationship does drugs, and then you start to do it too, so you can have that type of bond and you can be more involved in their life. So, I mean, that's not surprising at all.
And when she burned herself, her dad was at home. Instead of taking care of her downstairs in the basement, with a woman. And there he is, your little girl has 3rd-degree burns. I wonder, girl,
Mm-hmm. I know.
somebody would have helped me spot on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2nd and 3rd-degree burns. That's you're blistering.
Mm-hmm. And can you imagine as a child them screaming and crying like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then having those burns on your body and then probably healing up, having these scars, and then being sent to go to live at foster homes and so forth, having to change in front of people and people seeing it. You know how kids are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she probably had a kind of a tough life, you
Oh
know.
yeah, she definitely, not kinda, she definitely did.
I wonder when she was,
Oh, go
go
ahead.
ahead. I was wondering when she was stripping and so forth. Did she have to show that?
Mm. Maybe because she was a baby, maybe it healed a lot better than it would have as an
I mean,
older
she says she
person.
still has the scars.
Mhm.
I don't know where they are, but yeah, they might. I mean, yeah, her body would have stretched out, so maybe they don't look as bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But I thought it was interesting that she doesn't remember much of the negative things about her father, but she holds her mom like really responsible and accountable for like how her life was.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes children tend to do that. Like they glorify one of the parents, even
The
if
parent that's not around and not taking care of them. And
Mhm.
they get mad and resent the parent that is doing everything for
It's
them.
because of unconditional love.
Well, no, not only that, because he's like someone who's not there. So when he's around, it's like she's so happy that she forgets all the bad stuff about him. But her
Mhm.
mom, who's always there, taking care of her, yelling at her, disciplining her, loving her, she's always there. She will always be there. So she can treat her a little bit worse.
Unconditional love. You know that parent's love is going to be there almost no matter what you do. That parent will love you. So it's easier to treat somebody that you know will always love you a certain way than to treat somebody that you don't know. You're trying to get their love and you don't have their love yet. So of course you're going to be nicer, treat them better and so forth, rather than somebody that you already know you have their love. So I can see that happening to kids all the time. But what I didn't understand was like, I wonder, is she carrying this into her marriage with her husband?
No, I don't think
You
so.
don't think so?
Mm-mm.
You don't think she has daddy issues?
Um, no, because she kind of bosses him around. So I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think she has daddy issues.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to the second wedding dress party. I thought Wendy looked fabulous. Wendy's white outfit was great. I didn't like the snake boots because it's overdone all the time. But I thought she looked really good.
Yeah, she looks great.
Hmm.
I
So
thought the inside of the place looked great.
right. So Karen was like, I shouldn't be getting the second dress because I overdid it with my budget, with my
That's
wedding gown.
$2,000.
It was $2,000. I was like, what? That's it? My wedding gown costs more than that. Don't tell Dan. But my wedding dress costs more than that. So I was
You know
expecting her to say
I thought she went $2,000
$10,000.
over budget. She didn't go $2,000 over budget.
She said didn't she say her wedding gown was $2,000? I thought she said it
I
was
don't
$2,000 and she got it from Turkey.
I'm turning this off right now.
I don't know what she said. I mean, the dress looked kind of like it cost more than $2,000.
I didn't see her dress, but if she
The
got it
first
from
one?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
she
no, the
tried
one
it on.
that this was just for her second dress. All the
No,
dresses.
the first dress she tried on was her first dress.
Oh, that was her first dress?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But remember, she's getting it from Turkey. So things cost a lot less.
And we know that,
from
Uchenna,
Turkey.
overseas, how little dresses cost. When we're thinking, we're over here spending $6,000, $7,000 on dresses.
Oh, yeah.
You get over there for $1,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And better quality, superior quality.
Mhm. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I didn't realize that was her. That dress was beautiful.
It was, and it looked really
Yeah.
good on her.
Yeah. It
But
looked
she was
good.
saying that, yeah, that one she couldn't really move in. So then she was looking for one that she could really move in, even though the one she tried on, she couldn't move in.
She couldn't move.
She didn't even sit
She
on
didn't
it.
sit
She didn't
down.
even sit. I was like,
And it was hideous.
ugly. I was like,
The
I didn't like
neckline,
it
the
was so tight.
sleeves. Huh?
I think she liked it because it was so tight and form-fitting.
But that was the opposite of what she said she was looking for.
Yeah, I know.
She loved the sleeves too.
I hated it.
I hate the detached but attached mermaid skirt bottom.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, it was so. I was like, and everybody was like, they were like, no, thank God they were
Right.
truthful.
So
Yeah.
was that where the place is gonna be?
Yes, that's what Wendy said.
So what is that? Is it
The
a gown
warehouse.
shop?
Looks like a
It-
warehouse.
It's
Oh,
it's a warehouse on the outside looking, and in the inside it's a gown shop plus a venue.
Oh, okay. We just didn't see the other part of it.
We saw a little bit of it.
they were sitting. Yeah, we saw behind it, and so it did look nice
It
on
did,
the
yeah,
inside,
it did. It
Beautiful.
definitely did.
but it was a warehouse on the outside.
Mhm.
But if you have your pictures, like if you know where you're gonna take your pictures and they're not gonna be like in front of the building, I think that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not paying for the outside, so
Right. I would have mine there if the price was right. That would be no big deal.
mhm.
Especially since it's your renewal, I can't even say it, renewal.
Mhm.
But you always know. I mean, there's almost like a curse. If you get married on TV, if you renew your vows, it ends up in disaster, right? So I don't know why they're doing it.
Well, I think she wants to show off and show off the world that she loves Ray and Ray loves her. They have a good sex life, and she's better than Gizelle.
Yeah,
Gizelle can't keep a man, but here I am with my man.
getting married for a second time. So Mia was being messy Mia again, telling them about the party that they were not invited to.
And they shouldn't have been invited to.
Yeah, so I don't know why. And they even said it. Like, there's no reason why they would invite us to it,
Right.
But they kind of were blaming Gizelle. But Wendy said that thing about Robyn, so she should understand why Robyn doesn't
And
want her
two,
there.
you didn't even say happy birthday to the girl.
Yeah,
So why am I
exactly.
going to invite you? You didn't even say happy birthday to me on my birthday. Bye.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So
No.
what did you guys think about that whole conversation that Candiace had with her husband? What's her husband's name again?
Chris
Chris. So what did you guys think
at
about
dinner.
that? At dinner, yeah.
Just Candiace showing her old self coming back.
Yeah, so she wanted him to be at her, yes, because it sounded like he had everything together. He was like, I have an engagement that I was booked for, but I have these people that will be there. So it sounds like he's doing his managerial duties, and if he can't be there, making sure that there are people there to take care of things.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what she really wants from him.
I think she wants him there at all times. And she feels safe with him there to manage everything. And she wants, I bet you $1 million, this is all probably their money that they're spending on her career.
I think so. I think she said that.
So, yeah, it's a lot of money. And
She said that she was doing it on her own because it didn't
Yeah.
work out with that producer.
videos cost a lot of money.
But it's a lot to be married to someone and then work with that person
Mhm.
100%, especially if they're like having to oversee. It's not even like you're in a partnership together doing the same things, but they're having to like keep you on track and make sure you study and make sure you
Mhm.
get your
And that's what
dance
she
moves
wants.
together.
She wants,
It's a lot to expect from someone and think that you're going to have a great relationship and that there's not going to be any bumps.
it's like she wants a personal assistant.
Mm.
And that's what she feels he should be. And he should be there at all
Yeah.
times, making sure she's doing what she's supposed to do.
Mhm.
I personally think that that's a bad call. I think that he should be involved, but not be the overall seer, because to me, that would lead to arguments just like this, where she wants to have a tantrum and a breakdown because she's stressed. But, who are you going to have that tantrum and breakdown to? The only person that's there, your manager. And that happens to be her husband. So when she gets done having her tantrum and breakdown to him, how's that going to end up in the house when you guys are getting ready to go to bed or you're doing your other regular duties? It just doesn't work out that way.
Mhm.
So
And,
yeah,
and she even said it as she was going into Robyn's party that it kind of throws her completely off when she, gets into arguments with them. So
yeah, it throws me off when I get into arguments with my husband. I'm sure it throws her. Just think about it. He's not just your husband, he's also your manager and your therapist, because that's who she talks to when she's having issues with her dance and so forth. I would find it hard to tell my significant other, oh, you need to redo that dance move again. You don't got it right, critiquing and so forth. So it's a lot to expect of him. Maybe that's why he's turning grayer and gaining weight. But did you like the way that she spoke to him? What did you guys think about that?
I think she's kind of always spoken to him like that,
Really? Yeah.
You think it might be a little bit worse now because he is her manager and he doesn't have a steady gig and she's making her own money, whereas before he was the breadwinner. I mean, but who even knows how much money she's making?
Right. We don't know what his business sold for and how much he charges for his cooking lessons.
Right.
That gave me I didn't know you could hire people to give you cooking lessons over the internet like that, over YouTube. That might be something. Can finally get me one of the meals that I've been dying for, But yeah. So she was rearing as she was heading for that party, she was rearing for a fight.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
And Ashley's white ass was right there to get it.
That brings us to the party.
Right.
I don't even understand her disdain. I mean, I get that Ashley, like, you made a statement for Monique, but I mean, just to first of all, she didn't even understand what happened, in DC or Williamsburg. And I mean, I just thought that was so, the way she came at Ashley, that was crazy. It was and just calling her all kinds of names. I think that was so disrespectful.
But did you also see the inconsistency? It makes you realize how you think and how you feel aren't really the facts. She saw Ashley as being this lady that was kiki and ha-haing in the kitchen, and she was getting her milk out and so forth. But then when they actually played the scene, Ashley wasn't kiki and laughing like little devilish, She was just like, oh my God, I can't believe it went left like that,
But they were also drinking that night. So that probably played a little bit of a role in Candiace's perception of what happened.
Okay, that's true.
And the fact that she doesn't like Ashley.
Yes, so. That played a bigger role, for sure.
And I also don't like the fact that Ashley should have gotten more criticism than Gizelle. Gizelle really, what did Gizelle do that was wrong? She just talked about it to Ashley.
Right.
But they've made her seem like such a villain. I like Gizelle, so I'm gonna have to stick up for her on this.
I mean, but I do think that Gizelle should have kind of stood up for Ashley because they made the decision together for Ashley to bring it to Wendy.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't understand why Gizelle is so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think Gizelle probably was like, "Ooh, they're not yelling at me, so let me zip it and just listen."
Well,
there's been so much drama this season. It's just nonstop. We thought last year was drama. I mean, this year is almost just as much.
Well, I honestly thought, okay, no, it was Married to Medicine. That's the one I thought they were going to cancel.
Listen, if they're keeping Married to Medicine LA, they ain't canceling.
They are?
Oh, they are?
Well, they had their second season. And I thought after the first season, it was done. So if they're keeping that, they're never canceling any show.
Well, next week's, let's get going, ladies. Next week episodes looks really interesting. I will, of course, be watching because got to see what's going on.
And I think Salt Lake City starts this week.
Woo! Are we gonna be talking about it?
No.
Okay.
Well, do you guys want to?
I'll be watching it, so I'll be watching.
I didn't watch I watched part of the first season, but I didn't really watch it. Because this would be the second season, right?
This will be the second season.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's think about it.
Let's think about it.
Let you guys know if we do a review. You'll know that we're going to be doing it.
Yeah.
So until next week.
Yes. Don't forget to comment below, like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Real on the Real.
There you
Bye,
go.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.